As the emotional dust continued to settle, one truth became increasingly impossible to ignore. Nearly every major character in Port Charles had reached a crossroads where the next decision would determine not only their own future, but also the futures of everyone connected to them. That has always been one of General Hospital's greatest storytelling strengths. No choice exists in isolation. Every action creates another ripple, and every ripple eventually becomes a wave powerful enough to reshape the lives of multiple families. Jason Morgan's decision to leave Sonny Corinthos' organization may seem personal on the surface, but the long-term consequences stretch much further than either man may currently realize. For decades, Jason has been more than Sonny's enforcer. He has been Sonny's insurance policy. Whenever negotiations failed, Jason restored order. Whenever enemies underestimated Sonny, Jason reminded them why that was a mistake. Whenever Sonny found himself emotionally compromised by family, business, or personal tragedy, Jason remained the calm voice capable of making difficult decisions. Without Jason, Sonny enters unfamiliar territory. Not because Sonny suddenly becomes weak, but because every successful leader eventually depends upon people they completely trust. Absolute trust cannot simply be replaced overnight. Employees can be replaced. Friends cannot. That distinction may become one of the most important developments during the coming weeks. Several rival organizations undoubtedly monitor every movement surrounding the Corinthos empire. News spreads quickly throughout Port Charles. If rumors begin circulating that Jason Morgan has officially stepped away, enemies who once hesitated may suddenly become much more confident. Power often depends upon perception. Even before anything actually changes, simply believing Sonny has become more vulnerable could encourage dangerous people to make reckless decisions. Ironically, Jason's attempt to build a peaceful future could unintentionally trigger another conflict he hoped to leave behind. That possibility reflects the tragic complexity of Jason's character. No matter how hard he tries to escape violence, violence often follows him. Yet this version of Jason feels noticeably different. For perhaps the first time in many years, he appears determined not to let other people's expectations dictate his choices. That transformation deserves attention. Throughout most of his adult life, Jason accepted responsibility almost automatically. Someone needed help. Jason responded. Someone required protection. Jason volunteered. Someone else made a mistake. Jason paid the price. Those patterns became so familiar that even Jason himself stopped questioning them. Now, however, he appears willing to ask something revolutionary. What kind of life does Jason Morgan actually want? That question has remained unanswered for decades. Perhaps the answer involves Britt Westbourne. Their relationship continues developing in ways that feel refreshingly mature compared to many soap opera romances. Neither Jason nor Britt idealizes the other. They understand each other's flaws. They understand each other's histories. Most importantly, neither expects perfection. That emotional honesty creates extraordinary stability. Jason didn't question Britt about Tristan because he lacked trust. He questioned her because he trusted her enough to have an honest conversation. Healthy relationships rarely avoid uncomfortable subjects. Instead, they face those subjects directly. Britt appreciated exactly that. Rather than reacting defensively, she welcomed the conversation. She understood Jason's concern wasn't controlling. It was protective. Protection has always been Jason's primary love language. He rarely expresses affection through dramatic speeches. He expresses it through action. By asking questions about Tristan, Jason demonstrated once again that protecting Britt remains one of his highest priorities. Whether Tristan actually represents a threat remains uncertain. Still, if something about Tristan feels unusual, viewers would be wise to pay attention. Meanwhile, Serena Baldwin continued processing the overwhelming reality of returning home with virtually nothing left. Financial loss often carries emotional consequences that extend far beyond money itself. People frequently tie self-worth to independence. The ability to support oneself creates confidence. Losing that security can quietly erode identity. Serena seemed painfully aware of that reality. Admitting she had lost her trust fund required enormous humility, especially while standing before people who remembered her during far happier times. Lucy Coe refused to allow Serena's embarrassment to define the reunion.